to Engage Citizens. I am your host, Sharrie Ryan. Today I have Joe Backus with us. He's running for Scappoose Mayor. Welcome, Joe.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me and giving me this opportunity on this platform. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me. This is so important. So I'm glad that you could do this and make the time to do it. And so we're just going to get right into it. Joe, I just want to ask you, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've lived in Columbia County or Scappoose and such.
All right. Well, thanks. Who am I? My name is Joe Backus, and I'm running for mayor of Scappoose. My family moved out to Scappoose from Portland in 1978 when I was 8 years old. I grew up out here. I graduated from Scappoose High School in 1988. My mother and one of my brothers still live out here. I attended Lewis and Clark College in Portland, where I met my future wife, Stacy. I graduated in 1992 with a degree in business administration. 6 months after we graduated, we were married and now we're celebrating our 30th year together this December.
Congrats. Woohoo.
And, shortly after that, I went to work for a steel distributor in Northwest Portland, where I've been for the last 27 years, working as a territory manager. We have three sons, Cody, Robbie, and DJ. They all graduated from Scappoose High School. Cody and Robbie graduated from Oregon State. Cody with a couple degrees, one in computer science, and he now works for Oracle. Robbie graduated with a degree in economics. And he recently received his master's at NYU, and now he's teaching high school and coaching multiple sports here at Scappoose High School. DJ is a junior he's going to University of Portland, where he's studying computer science, as well as working in sustainable farming. He's growing vegetables through hydroponics for the university. They're all doing great, and I'm a very proud father. My wife, she's been teaching third grade here in Scappoose for almost 20 years, and is a fixture in our school district. I've been on the Scappoose School Board as well over 20 years, volunteering with Scappoose Little League, coaching, umpiring, many of the years serving as president. The same for Scappoose Youth Football, many years coaching and serving as a president. Right now, I'm a volunteer assistant football coach on the Scappoose High School football team, as well as an assistant girls basketball coach in the winter. We live in Scappoose because it's small, quaint. It's a good mix of urban, rural feeling. Definitely safe, with good schools, but mostly importantly because it is our home.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Sounds just you've had a great life so far,
Or,
and just so rooted in Scappoose. What do you love about Scappoose? I know you mentioned some of, the those things, but what is it that you love about Scappoose?
um, I just love the people, the
Mm,
opportunities that I think are there. That's one reason I wanted to be mayor.
mm,
I just love Scappoose. Been involved in so many different things, but I've been kind of concerned lately about the future of Scappoose. I
mm.
feel that we're in an inflection point right now, and the decisions we make going forward will greatly impact the next 20 years and beyond in Scappoose. We've made some high density zoning changes by leadership in 2018, and they're kind of allowing developers to shape our city. Want to make sure we are guiding what Scappoose will become going forward with a clear vision for the city, which we have yet to develop. And then I've come up with several issues and concerns that I keep hearing about. Looks kind of sense or a lack of transparency with the
Mhm,
citizens, lack of 24-hour police protection, and
mhm.
kind of an overall fear of where the city is going in the future. And that's kind of why I've been decided to get involved in running for mayor.
Okay. Yeah. What, what made you, that's why you decided to run for mayor, was you saw those things that are happening and you're like, I want to be involved in that.
Yeah, I mean, I love the city. It's still small. I moved out here. There was 3,200 people,
Yeah.
and it still feels small when you start to see
Hmm.
the number 8,600 people. That's almost three times as many, but it still feels small, kind of quaint. You still
Yeah.
get some farms. You get people that are right outside the city that are great to deal with, and St. Helens. And I know a lot of people there, and you work with them and you coach them. It's a great little area to grow up. I felt it's a real safe area for our kids.
Yeah.
Um, I believe it was great schools. My kids had great experiences going through school. And
Yeah.
um, I mean, that's what I really, when my parents moved me out here, and that's why when we decided where do we want to live, this
Hmm.
is where I moved back here after school. This is where I said I want to raise my kids and grow. And my wife is a fixture working here, and I work 20 miles away, kind of in Northwest Portland. But this is a great city, and that's why I wanted to stay here and live here. But with these concerns I've seen, that's why I want to get involved.
Great. Awesome. I've asked, other mayor candidates this question, and it's about, the way that mayor, the position is structured, basically. And, in most large cities, a mayor setting is a strong, it's just called a strong mayor setting. In Scappoose, it's called a weak mayor setting. That doesn't mean that the mayor is weak or, those kind of things, or that what he does is weak, but Scott Pooses is definitely a weak mayor system. What does that look like to you? What do you think about that?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. I didn't really know the difference for all the mayors and all the cities.
Yeah.
I did first, and yeah, like you said, defined strong mayor has
Hmm.
direct administrative authority over all the city departments. They
Yeah.
run operations of the city and as well as set policy. Here in Scappoose, like you said, we have a weak mayor system. It's a council manager government system. Even though it's coined weak, the city council and the mayor, they set the policy and overall direction of the city.
Yeah.
And the staff or the city manager leads the city staff to execute on the policies which have been set, and they
Mhm.
have administrative authority over all the departments. As a mayor, I will set the agenda and I'll work with the council to develop a vision of who Scappoose is and what we want to be in the future. Then, through collaboration with the citizens, the appointed committees, and others, we'll work together to achieve that vision.
Yeah. 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 So you're a part of that, city council. You're a part of, like you said, setting that agenda and running that.
Yeah, we set the policies, the ordinances, the resolutions. We're listening to the citizens, the committees. They've got several good committees available at their disposal. And they set all that with the mayor and the council, and then they work with the city to figure out how to put those in place. And then they
Yeah.
run the operations and run the parks department or the public works department or the engineering. They work with the city planner. And so they get everything done that the mayor and the council has tasked them to do.
Okay. Perfect. What qualifications do you feel that you possess to become Scappooses mayor?
Um, I believe with over the 40 years in this community, I'm well connected to the citizens of Scappoose.
Hmm.
And as a coach for many years, I've learned the value of teamwork and relationship building, working
Yeah.
together for greater good. I believe I'm able to identify strengths to take advantage of and able to find weaknesses to improve upon, including myself. With my leadership experience, plus 27 years of business experience, I've developed a business acumen, strong interpersonal skills, and organizational skills that will help me manage in this position of mayor.
Hmm. Hmm. You were a part of the school board. What years were those?
Um, it's hard to remember exactly the years. I kind of go by exactly. I go by. We built a school. When Peterson got built, it was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was on a couple board years where we failed on school bond measures, and I realized how that's difficult in the city to
Yeah.
put out a good bond. But then when Peterson came along, we did a really good job of building it correctly, grassroots effort, finding out what the community really needed and wanted,
Yeah.
and get the bond passed. And then I had moved out of my district, so I had to give up my seat. Um, and then that's when Peterson got built. So right in the 2006, 2007 years is my
Okay.
school board.
Okay. Cool. That's a big role. Trust me. What do you think? Okay, like coming into, this, running and the campaign and all these things, we were talking, you're like, these are kind of the things that are, maybe your top things that you look at your platform where you're like, these are the top things that I would like to address or help improve or look at and bring, your perspective, bring your, skill to that. What are the top kind of three things that you see that, are issues in our community that you'd like to check out?
Speaking with people, like I said, I identified several issues and items I do want to address, but most of them
Yeah,
are inter. When you start working on one, it will kind of work on the others. The
yeah,
top three platforms I probably would really kind of focus on immediately: 24-hour police protection and safety.
yeah,
I'll make sure we're working in the right direction on several fronts. The 911 concerns, 24-hour police coverage, and the increase in accidents and traffic on Highway 30.
yeah,
These need to be a priority because I believe without our safety or feeling safe, a lot of these other items really don't matter much.
hmm,
I've met with our new chief police Lugal or police chief Lugal lately, and I understand their needs, and I'll make sure that this is a top priority when I'm there.
hmm,
Second, one issue I keep hearing about is that the Scappoose is hard to work with. So my goal would be to build stronger relationships with the county, the state, and more importantly, our neighboring towns.
hmm,
Um, Build those relationships so we can collaborate for mutual benefit, especially with the schools. We definitely need to build our relationship and get a better relationship with the school district. And so that's where I think being on the school board, having a wife and son working in the schools, I will be able to build that relationship.
yeah,
Third, probably this comes back a lot. What is our vision? We need to develop our vision, who we want to be forward. Um,
yeah,
we really dig in and address many livability issues, such as a downtown corridor, parks and recreation options, traffic and zoning. Um, we're not going to get livable wage jobs, restaurants, shops, a hotel, a community center, or parks without a vision.
yeah, yeah. What are some of your plans or thoughts on, because one of my hot things that I ask, the hot topic kind of mayors, is some of the things that people have told me that are the hot topics, and one of them is that it is the traffic, it is the coming into Scappoose. I mean, we all know, because people are driving out to Portland to work, right? Like
Right.
you do, I do. Coming into town is a little intense at, and it's a long time. It's intense from like 3:30 to 6:30 or so, or 6. Do you have any thoughts about that or plans about those?
Yeah. Like I said, is mayor safety is definitely going to be a top priority.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like you said, in the last 4 years, we've definitely seen traffic and safety issues grow on Highway 30.
Yeah,
Kind of lack of a relationship with ODOT and the school district, and the zoning changes that we did in 2018 are only going to make things worse.
yeah,
By building relationships, we'll work on both short-term and long-term solutions.
yeah,
So I don't have answers, but I definitely want to get and listen and find out what those options are.
hmm,
One term solution we could work with the school district and the police department to create designated Highway 30 crossing points for students during school hours for safety visibility.
yeah,
And maybe a little bit longer term, um, explore a pedestrian crossing over the highway and the train tracks. That would
yeah,
greatly reduce the amount of red light crossings. It would allow for a smoother traffic flow, and which definitely increase safety. But yeah, that definitely is a major issue in our local residential areas as well. With the sidewalks that are coming, I mean, the safety. Our kids are walking to school, talking
yeah,
about building another school, possibly down by the high school, so we could have all the schools on one campus.
yeah.
Basically, it's just going to increase, and as we continue to grow, there'll be more and more cars coming. So it's definitely going to be a top priority.
Definitely. I totally agree with the 24/7 police coverage. I know that we've had some struggles in Scappoose with even just staffing, even just getting those positions that we do have filled. And that is definitely, a concern to residents. Like you said, safety is utmost
Yeah.
for us and our children, and to feel safe where you live. What is kind of your thoughts about, our economy growing, of course, is, that small town feel that we do have? Like, what do you think about, businesses coming in and our economy growing, but keeping it that small town feel?
definitely. I mean, that's one of the big things is trying to keep the fill. Why did people move here in the first place? Keeping
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
The Scappoose will continue to grow. We have to act prudently now to make sure we maintain the Scappoose we live in today.
Yeah.
Uh, Tip enacted zoning changes and code changes in Scappoose, putting how we grow in the hands of realtors and developers. We see kind of an example at the Candlelight Apartments. We have to set our own direction. Like I said, create that vision on who we are and who we want to be, and then we can put that plan in place to get there. Scappoose has always been about livability and community, and it will be my priority to make sure that doesn't change going forward.
That's great, Joe. I really just, I so appreciate you taking the time, to meet with me and to, put this together and share with our community a little bit to get to know you a little bit better. And so I just want to tell you, I'm going to be posting this, your website and how people can reach you and how they can be involved. And you have some events coming up that I will be sharing with our community also. I'm excited about. And just good luck with your, campaign and in the future. Thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate it, Sharrie, and thanks for being engaged. We definitely need more engaged citizens moving forward as well. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. You take care. Bye bye.